the day. Sims and Pansy, bring us the grassy pastures.
Happily. And yeah, looking forward to this one. And you bring up skins, and you didn't mention Break getting skins. You know, we still have to be very thankful, of course, that we got gifted those beautiful, beautiful skins. I think it's like the only ones I still actually use. That and Jenna and Julian's. The M24, the classic. Yeah. Anyway, south to north.
Yeah, it's the gold ones for me. The good old the golden ones for the previous PCS, like big fan. Even it's we've got so many skins now between us, like how many different ones there actually is. I'm gonna hold for a second though, Lauren, because it looks like there is potential for some arguments down on Sosnovka Island. I wanna hop and have a look at ETG and Saunabois. We know we've seen some run-ins before early game. We had 2 maps last week of Erringo where they actually clashed on both sides of it 2 different days. So I want to see if the same kind of scenario actually unfolds here and we have a similar outcome. So far, it's the Saunabois that have been winning out these battles. But let's not forget that we do have the bystanders that are actually in Millie Base itself. So if they get kind of wind of this and maybe they smell blood in the water and they get good guns, because instantly, regardless of these settings anyway, regardless where you drop, you're always geared within minutes. It's just how it is. And lo and behold... We've actually got 4 teams over there, and the circle, well, it's been very kind to them. But I want to also talk about the coastline on the opposing side, Pink Ponies. From you look at Milta Town itself, and you go through farms, coastline again, even the Shakfin itself, you've already got 1 player in there in the form of Kilyakai. These boats that are going to be very, very vital. They may be in abundance now, but maybe not for too long if someone like Shift W just takes them and yeets them and gets across onto the opposing side. With having quite a lot of water, not just for a general island one, but when the circle's down so south, when you have so much water behind Sosnovka Island itself, you have to assume that we're not coming back to Erringo. I mean, there's no land to do whatsoever, so you want to be going deep within the island.
Yeah, absolutely. But back to skins, Richard. You know, imagine caster skins. What would you put for Kalaris's skin? What do you think would be the most fitting?
I think
it's tough.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like, I was thinking for Froz, like, give him a vehicle skin. Just like a really banged up car.
Smashed to bits.
Yeah.
Martin would just have a Danish flag. There'd be no question about that.
Straight Dane. Yep.
Just straight Danish flag. Maybe with James, just some glasses and the ginger beard below it, you know? I could actually join in there. We could have dual skins, like a little ginger pack together.
I mean, oh yeah, the ginger pack could be something. I mean, you could go full Game of Thrones, but that could have some, you know, DMCA qualities there. I'm not sure they'd allow that too much. But regardless, we'll come up with some ideas. We'll throw some ideas around. Brex goes up with a couple of ideas himself. Already gonna head over, just on his own as well. And taking the 1 boat. Not sure if there's one on the other side of the island. We got to see the one that he was heading towards. So hopefully Chris and, you know, Killikai and Zoka can actually do something. Yes, there we go. They're maybe gonna have a battle for it if they did go over towards Meltaway with the pink ponies. But who this looks good for, in my eyes, is the likes of Northern Lights. They get the radio tower side, which I love to see. James being very ambitious leading out the car with that gun, but no, he goes to the M4, no worries. But it looks like, for now, Na'Vi not known to gate camp, or bridge camp, should I say, unless they really have to, unless there's a full, you know, call for it. Orange isn't going to be shy, though. Still noting presence, saying, hey, don't think about pulling up here. Just keep it moving.
The question is, dude, all right, we know Na'Vi don't necessarily bridge camp. They're not notorious for it. Do ETG get involved here, or do Team Liquid just get across clean and easy? I think by looking at what we have information-wise, this is completely clean. All 4 players will get across, and they'll be able to set themselves a nice bit of residency. Quepta's just falling back. He'll be able to get this information and feed it to the rest of his teammates that there is another team, and they have made it across safely. Again, if you do watch PUBG, if you do play PUBG, you'll know it's going to be Team Liquid. Gustav, 1-2, thank you. Aimlul, first person to fall straight out the back. That's a secondary headshot. There's 2 players in there that are around 25% HP. He has a good opportunity to knock 2 out here. That would be
Does he keep going?
Disgusting. One of them's the driver as well. That'd slow it down. Yes, you can seat switch, but there's a lot of work to be done. Thankfully, the meds are there. I can already see the bandies being worked on. Stims also, so they'll be back to full HP eventually. I mean, Vampire isn't. But then again, he is driving. Losing 1 player, it's never good. If anyone's on the opposing side with a sniper, that could spell danger.
It could. Now, Liquid have made it across. We saw them, get across the bridge, and now they're heading past the Saunabois. And Na'Vi Orange has 2 of TSM pulling up. Now, does TSM expect to have Na'Vi still in these scenarios? I'm not sure, but Clib did not expect Sakura to have such a big chunk of vision on him, but maybe overlooked their Liquid fumbling a little at the start, and this is a position they often go to, that southern side, but it's already preoccupied. And yeah, this is great from Orange. That's going to be the first, but Iroh wasn't alone. There was another player with him, and I think it's Miraku, if I'm not mistaken. So keep that in mind. Not 100% sure. They might have actually just dipped at this point. Yeah, Vard on the way, Fex and Miraku. Yeah, they've gone. Right. Not sticking around for that. Na'Vi haven't crossed yet, so we should be good. Over we go.
I kind of feel for him on that one. Like, if I was Ira, I'd just be honest, just kicking myself and saying, what are you doing there? Like, why are you still here at this point? Na'Vi will be the last ones potentially to come across here, the closest to the bridge, and they're still just standing back. Don't get me wrong, they have all the boats in the world between Prim and over by Ferry Pier. No one can get to that area yet, so all the vehicles, and to be able to rotate across is going to be fairly easy, but yeah, if I was Ira, I'd certainly be kicking myself and just wondering why a player was still standing there. Gustav is still lurking, the danger man, so far on the opposing side, disconnected from the rest of his roster. He's already knocked out one from a boat, hopefully going for another one. Ivers this time. He's the one who'll be spotting the member of FaZe Clan. Whether or not they come back for him is a different question altogether. Stranding on an island, not what you want to be seeing, but with how much Circle should be still in play, he'll be able to, I would have thought, swim across rather safely. Hence, your Stalba boys, you know them boys, they are wandering down slowly but surely. Now the big question is, with Na'Vi regrouping themselves, does this spell disaster for someone like DA, who predominantly should just smash it into the bridge?
We'll see. Na'Vi, as I said, they don't normally stick around here, but they are holding ground for a while. Nail up on pickup duty, gonna hear the vehicles probably. And Gemty's about to have a look, and he's gonna find a lot of information. Switches up to the barrel, just sprays it wildly. Literal fish in a barrel or a player in a boat. Not sure if the saying really sounds as good, but the damage is excellent. Gemty leading those shots so well. Marv's dead in the water, nothing more to be said nor done. And Redline just having to pick up whatever's left and try and get out of there. If more shots come in, they are done for.
Yeah, just saw fortunate blood spray there, so there could be another victim. 1, 2, thank you. They've got to pay. All the boats on fire. QBE will eventually have to come up for breath. The question is, will they be able to catch him as he does? Crossfair seeing all this one and realizes, okay, the full team hasn't been wiped yet. There must be someone lurking and lingering, hanging back while the rest of them do move further and deeper through Novo. Rest of Omacan, I mean, they actually might just go for him. They realize that QB is still in the water. Maybe they can try and keep track. They might just loop around and finish him off. If they do, they have to be aware that there could be another player, like, for instance, FaZe Clan lingering. Has Gustav gone in the water yet? I'll have to swim eventually, surely.
Yeah, I think Gustav's swimming as we speak. Na'Vi have made it across the bridge. They should be fine now. No one's really there to do much with. DA will have safe entry unless maybe the timing lines up. Not sure if it will. Omacan did lean a little towards the west there, and they got warded away by Shift W.
Pretty linear as to where DA and ENCE will be going. The circle's been favourable to them. There's options for ENCE to, even if they don't want to challenge the bridge and take that chance, they could just run it off those cliffs that are facing the back yellows and smack it to the closest point on the opposing side, get as close as possible. You would probably then get actually tanked by TE and generally any team there. That's always a thing that has to be in the back of your mind. WS potentially stationed on the other side. We'll see when that one updates and we're actually going to be on that one.
Bug.
No, they didn't early, excuse me. Yeah, I'm thinking, just trying to think where they are actually within the map itself.
Very far
me off
south
track
in a
either
boat.
way. Okay, cool.
I think.
Liquid
I'm not sure.
opt into center. Yeah, I thought. Hang on a minute. I've definitely seen them rotating earlier on. Why are they? It's just. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, seaworthy. They're down at the bottom end, towards the south.
Yeah, right. So everyone's going to be shuffling a little bit closer towards the center now. We do have the new circle coming, and Liquid have got themselves a great position in the military base itself. ETG are in there, bystanders are just on the other side. DA still just about making it in, and this is where they could potentially clash with Ents. Ents pulling up quite late. Of course, they were very far towards the north, and that's always going to be an issue for them. It is what it is with these circles. You play the game, you sometimes get caught out by it. Depends who's got the better meds now, really. You can you get yourself back up and well enough geared to go. And, well, DA are in a slightly better position, at least map-wise, for able to kind of keep Ents a little further back.
I agree, but I don't know if DA has accounted for Tixu's position, which would suggest that he's gathered the information and fed it back to the rest of the roster. With Rustamar looking that way, I'd suggest that that's a very strong possibility. So having info, not to just go blindly running into this, and maybe keep DA patient, to be fair. B-Made just attempting to get it there, but didn't work out. It's this Uber is not yours, my friend. WS slowly but surely working all the way down to the south, and it'll be nice and safe for them, to be fair, because everyone else is centered up, gone toward the top side. So they'll be clean. It'll be pretty easy for them to get on and maybe get involved in the fight. This will be their first point of contact if they do run straight to military base. You can see some of that new terrain that came into play when they had the full overhaul. We don't really ever see it get in play because we haven't had many circles that actually allow for it, or to be fair, that really bring them in within a competitive environment. I'll hold for a second because Uber is dead. Did FaZe overstep the boundary, or did Northern Lights want to get involved?
Well, Northern Lights have been on the radio tower for some time. FaZe probably shuffled this way from Novo, so you're going to have a little bit of a clash, and it looks like Northern Lights just simply got the drop on Uber this time, but Fuzzface is very close by. They can both stay here. It looks like Northern Lights already wanted to shift slightly further south, already kind of falling in towards more the forest side of things where Liquid sometimes, maintain, but, they'll give up a bit of the space. Spyro just doesn't want to die on his own untradeable, just kind of like a useless death, so he's going to head back over towards the rest of the boys with Lou, as Batulans and Perfectus are further south. They're just across the road, so at the moment, looking at what's left, it looks like Ents did opt to swim, so they definitely noted the bridge camp. They're well aware of DA's position. They've gone, nah, let's at least ensure two of us do get in towards that circle. It is a long swim, but they should be just fine. The rest of DA and the remainders of Ents are still in the blue as we speak.
Northern Lights opting to leave early. We spoke about DA kind of just standing by and waiting for Ents to make the first move, or first mistake, whichever way you want to cut it. Two players squeaking, Rustamar will advance forward, and they'll be doing the swimming game. Tixu, they sit back and just hope Diggory that eventually DA sends off first. So it's a bit of a standoff, if you will call it. And the only real benefactor of this is Na'Vi. They're all going to run into them, and they should be tanked up. Whether or not Squeaky and Rustamar make it across nice and clean, I'd assume that Senyu would probably fixate more towards the bridge and keep a track on that. We'll hold for a second because Omicron on the run. All these players that are going to be on your screens any second will be in yellow. Omicron and Tornado Energy trying to get off of the beachhead and move closer towards the grassy areas with the trees. Get involved in the foliage. Quizzy. Information clearly in abundance.
Right, see, these are hard shots to hit, but you'd hope for them to find a couple more. Oh, FaZe look weird today. They are definitely not the normal FaZe we see. 8C tries to commit to the shot and simply gets put right back. QBE might be in trouble just simply because of the blue coming in now. He was in a fine position prior to that. Now Na'Vi forced to fight the first men from Ents to make landfall. Rustamar and Squeaky did make it across. And now you've got Senor on the other side going, hey guys, I think there's some fins in our house. Help me out here. The sauna has been taken.
Uh-oh. This land is... Oh, Jempty! As if you spin on that, the power that just arrived all of a sudden, Shift W, they get a shock from nowhere. They thought they had the drop on them, but no. Omicron strikes, and it strikes well with two players down, and the bombardment will continue. Zoka, you can see in the off angle, does have the bolt action. Whether or not it comes into effect is a different question. DA have run the gauntlet down low. We transition, we hop and skip. T-Bone goes down from a different angle altogether. Jempty will finish off Kilyakai. First victim is gone, but there's damage on both sides. Zoka, again, still looking for that prime target. With them out of the fight, it comes down to Chris to maybe try and hold the line here. Metralius does fall. Na'Vi finally. They actually get some kind of victims that do want to come from the opposing side. Diggory and Tixu, last ones to come across. Now, all of a sudden, Zoka and Chris have come alive. They are formulating a plan to fight back here against Omicron.
I'm amazed that they've been able to even have a fight from this. After those first couple of shots, I thought they were done for, but you can see Jempty is the only one actually standing. That molly is so close. GMT is just about in cover. You can see now shots between the pink ponies and Tornado Energy. That's a flush and that's a peek. Nice work from GMT. Another? No, the flash pushes him back into the angle. You can hear the pins being pulled. Shadow shows though, and he's got a peek on this. He's trying to play this so well, and he's actually got the element of surprise on one. Too many to handle. Oma can go down in 16th.
Soccer just inside the circle. If that had come in, it could have spelled disaster. DA did lose players, but you know what? They managed to get off of the bridge. They managed to get in behind Na'Vi. Tornado Energy, one player in the opposing side. A little bit of a split going down, though, and that becomes very problematic. Melman, the first one to be the first point of contact. Be able to get off the vehicle on top of the roof. Try and get some information and feed it back. One nice knock. Especially if they're in the Harry Potter Tower, he'll have clear vision into those windows and maybe able to bang one out, and then the rest of them can run forward. But the big problem for both of these teams is that once they do go forward, they'll have TSM in their way. Or will they? As I say, that code Marco hits the world on Fex. Look at the falling damage instantly. What a range that was. To be able to do him at that distance with the spray in the vehicle? Holy hell, code Marco. If he's feeling it, it's going to be dangerous.
Oh, bloomin' heck. Go, yep. Running a mad gauntlet right now. So many teams going past. You're going to see everyone being kind of pushed in together. Fuzzface is dead. This has been a poor performance from FaZe. And as someone who loves FaZe when they play well, I think they're some of the best teams. You know, when they have the good performances, it just feels very flat. I'd love, you know, for the guys on the desk to break down simply what's been going wrong, but obviously it's hard to make those assumptions. However, Code Marco, nice work from him, and Smash going to dive in as well. DA and Na'Vi, two teams playing very well currently, I'd say. DA obviously in second place, kind of tussling with Tornado Energy and Northern Lights. Speaking of Tornado Energy, they've got fights on their own fronts, and they are out in kind of no man's land, in the in-between, where Ents have kind of pushed themselves out. Jeems, where did that just come from? A little rocket in his pocket. He just sends it right towards the pink ponies. Nice work. That fire is still alive, just on the other side of the kind of fence that runs around the outskirts here. Going to be prone down and trying to stay very much undetected, but I'm sure that Liquid will be keeping a close eye on this.
Spoke about it earlier. I mean, sometimes it doesn't pay off for them, but when it does, it pays dividends. Liquid is always a team that will happily just evacuate the safety net that it has and move towards teams to stop them getting closer. Like, ground coverage for Liquid is vital, and it's all part of the plan, and it works so damn well. That in itself is a knock-on effect. The dominoes fall, the information comes through, and the pink ponies are eliminated. TSM, the final run, maybe. We shall see. If they hit the same principal wall as what the pink ponies had, then we could be in for a spot of bother. They have been noted. Vehicle is loud and proud, and a very open road here. You're going to hit this at a very tight angle if you do want to get inside. Actually take the tower instead. But look at that. The second they make landfall, instantly 1, 2, maybe even 3 teams have a full clear line of sight onto them.
Yeah, TSM won't be leaving this tiny little area anytime soon. That is their new home. They love it. They're very happy with what they got. Zoka, loving the prone along the fence, just trying to avoid attention, as Chris did make it in as well. But there's plenty of full teams just in front of them. This is going to be quite a brutal ending, I feel. There's a lot of big teams left in this. Northern Lights still here, looking towards the top, of course. Let's look at them. Northern Lights on the south side, on the wreckages, on the kind of... Oh, that fence just kept him alive. And Rich, we might get an ending you've wanted for a while. I haven't seen it either, but right on the airstrip, we're going to have a fair bit of attention. Liquid, Northern Lights, Saunabois, WS, TSM, DA, Na'Vi, all these big names still very much alive here.
It'd be lovely to see down that southwestern side. You have all that new swamp area with the broken down BRDMs. To see them come into play and to see all that kind of terrain put to good use would be an absolute treat. For now, though, it's survival of the fittest. When we look towards the north and the east, we have Na'Vi and Tornado Energy. Then we hop back actually inside Zoka, like as a one-man ranger. How are you still managing? Excuse me, not Lone Soldier. What am I speaking about? I'm forgetting Chris is actually in the distance as well. So between them, actually doing the dirty here, and simultaneously they shoot, and simultaneously they do finally fall. Shift W goes down. Alia at distance with the Kar-98 ends the same trajectory path as TSM earlier. Again, presence will be noted, especially from DA. Remember, this is who is holding them and choking them to goal point this time round. Now the question is, could we have a bit of revenge? Could the standoff transition to a different area? Let's not forget here, the second that N starts shooting towards Tornado Energy, in theory, this should be the go signal for DA.
Yeah, and it is for the bystanders as well. They turn their attention instantly towards that hillside, and they nabbed at least one of those points. Na'Vi adjusting, but they're still not safe. 3 of them alive. I don't know if the 4th made it. I don't think they did. Tornado Energy in a precarious spot themselves. Over by Big Red or Rust, whatever you like to call it. All there. Looking a little different these days, but example. Trying to be kept alive by smoke, but you can see that hillside has such good vision towards it. Now, I do want to see what happens to that DA-ENCE sort of weird battle and then throw Na'Vi into the mix, because now we've got a situation unfolding. Now we've got problems aplenty. ENCE do have 4, but their position is very uncomfortable. They've swatted out Na'Vi and they lose. Tab with a big backhand towards Squeaky. Nate to hopefully finish what he started, but Tab's on for more. And if ENCE aren't ready for this, they're in troubles. Even though Na'Vi are on the low ground, they can still do some incredible stuff. Diggory, quick nade. They've got at least one towards the right area. Rustamar, yeah, you see that nade damage flooding through. Na'Vi, barrage being thrown at them. Nade after nade. Diggory, not too proactive though. Doesn't want to peek that ridgeline. He will silhouette, he will skyline a fair amount, but Na'Vi transitioning further forward. They have to get away from this blue, and they are forced to fight. They're forced in, and they're forced to their death. Diggory, comfortable, waiting, looking for more. Don't want to overstep the boundary. Don't want to run over that ridgeline, but Orange praying for it. He's actually wrapped around the back of them. Maybe he could be the silent assassin, but DA waiting patiently on the hillside as well. As soon as ENCE appear, expect those Turkish names to be on the correct side of that kill feed. And I'm waiting to see it appear, but it's not come through just yet. Mert's there, they're all firing, but ENCE have got so many problems. Smash finds Tixu, and now Orange has to make his approach. He is in such a bad spot here. This blue damage is going to be vile for him.
DA have just been holding point, and that's because they have the high point, and more importantly, they have terrain to work with. There's a few little bits and bats of the metalworks that they can actually use to their advantage. They're ever so slight sandbag
DA
area
pushing.
they can use, but now it's time to go. With 2 players standing, they've seen damage done, they smell the blood, they want to finish this one off. 1 man standing, Rustamar. Can you stand the test of time with 3 players bearing down upon you? This was a fight from the very start of the game. Both teams holding each other dead to rights, and finally DA put the nail in the coffin. Jeems goes hard onto example. 1 player from Tornado Energy going down. Ali are clearly trying to make a last resort, a last-ditch attempt, but unfortunately will be thwarted and held back by TSM. This could be another easy free frag for DA should they see the vehicle. Maybe the bait's just been used to draw these TSM players out. While all this is going down, let's not forget about the Saunabois. They have been here from the very, very start. Went up against... they've actually gone for quite a slow crawl into this. I mean, the circle hasn't necessarily, I'd say, unfavorable from the very, very start, but certainly moving away from them, they have to work for what they've got.
Yeah, they've just sent it as well. They've just moved up. That's Liquid moving in. We didn't get to see them. Don't know why not. But there's Liquid trying to sweep through, but now they've garnered the attention of Northern Lights, who just moved up. You were right, they were quiet. They hadn't got involved, but now they are. Now they want in on this. They've got 6 kills. It has been a quiet 6 kills, but 6 kills nonetheless. Liquid just trying to stay alive. This is a battle of attrition at this point, and look towards the top. This is where I want the fight to be decided. Northern Lights currently lead the way, and they have a good position to play from, and a good couple of teams around them, a couple of bits and pieces here. But DA have that hillside, and that hillside is very, very critical to their success. Maxi is going to be found by the Saunabois, and the Saunabois control the vast majority of the south, kind of west, I guess you'd say. Very strong positioning too, but it looks like Smash has a good bit of vision towards one, but vision right back.
So this is the problem. It is a good position for now. The opposite polar end is that the circle moves away and there is 0 cover. My concern, do they have vehicles up there? Because you will need them to rotate. If you want to rotate off the back of that hillside, you just wander straight down, you're in all kinds of trouble. The Saunabois is going to be at the footholds, just waiting for you to get into some kind of open area. Lay waste and it's job done, DA, if you don't have vehicles. And the circle is bad, then it should be good night. TSM's position, well, you know what? To say it's 2 little cabins or 2 little towers, it's actually paid off in central of the map. They don't have to do anything still. Yeah, they can stand there and stand the test of time, but we'll see for how long with Team Liquid on the opposing side of the road. Maybe Team Liquid shows hand eventually.
Oh, DA, right. Let's see what they're made of. This gets tricky. So, you can go down the hill, but you've got a Liquid fight, and you'll have full attention from everyone in the lobby looking at you on the way down. I don't know how many smokes they have. They've been in a lot of fights. If we could get on board with DA to see how many smokes they have, maybe, or vehicles. Okay, so they've got a couple of vehicles to play with. But do they have smokes to maybe give them some cover upon arrival, or even on the route itself? Right now, 3 smokes with Mert. Lovely. That's not bad. That's enough to at least give you maybe the start. You want a couple more, but it's possible. If they could get a pick and then go, even better. That's probably what they're looking for here. If we can get a pick on the Saunabois, right, that's a gateway through. Now, with 10 seconds to hit, yes, Northern Lights will have to fight ETG, but I feel as though they're in a superior position. They should win that fight. ETG, look at the cross they have to work with. It's treacherous. Yes, the smokes could keep them safe, though, so we'll keep an eye on both of these fights. These are going to be critical. There you go. First pixel out of place. Spyro spams him wildly, sees another. Batulins gets one. We're looking for the next. Spyro underneath the ice cream van, takes it, and nothing sweet for dinner for ETG. It's going to be Northern Lights moving up now. Now it's DA's turn. What can they do with this, Rich? It's a horrible spot to be in now.
It is, honestly. You just got to go for the vehicles, mark a target, and head towards it. They could end up, actually, to be fair to them, going towards Team Liquid's position. You know, it's somewhere within the circle. It's clutching at straws at this point, but really, what do you have left with the rocks in front of you? Liquid's already here. They're cycling the grenades for them. This could be some easy frags. If one just goes over the top, that could be 3 kills. They've just fallen short. So the Saunabois will continue the barrage of bullets with one more player standing. This could be some easy frags for the Saunabois, and much needed when you're in 16th position.
Yeah, all right, Code Marco trying to get back on his feet, but here comes a bit of a nade. This is huge. It's so good. So well positioned, well placed. The Saunabois are putting up a performance today, and we've already got a knock on Perfectix. This changes a lot of the dynamics now. TSM with 2, Team Liquid with 2, and it's the big boys. You've got the Saunabois and the Northern Lights. But let's look at those positions. It's got to be the Saunabois here. Look how much ground they're controlling. Pyro, they're dead, bro. They're dead. Leave them alone.
They're also dug in, and that's what's so interesting about this area. If they can literally just watch all the gaps, with Misa on the opposing side to deny people coming from the roadside, they basically have their own dugout. They can just turret this, hide their bodies, go for the peaks. Obviously, you've always got to be careful of some disgustingly good bolt action or some just incredible marksman to ruin all those plans, all the best laid plans out completely. But putting Misa here and keeping him by that building has been so critical. He's been able to finish off DA. He can now keep Team Liquid back at bay, and they can't cross the road and come further down the wall. TSM can't move. There's just no point in bothering and wasting your life. You might as well just stay your feet and see what you can do towards the end of the game. And then finally come over to the Northern Lights. Well, honestly, with 3 players from the Saunabois here, they don't want to go too far because they are, you know, they're spread a little bit thin. But why give up this fantastic and phenomenal amount of ground that you have? There's just no need.
Perfectix made it further forward. That's pretty important. Now, he can at least stop them breaching in, but you can see at what cost this has come at. The loss of Batulins is pretty important. Now, Liquid are going to try and take this opportunity to move up, but TSM is well aware. James is not being subtle with this, but he wants the loot, potentially. Now, the nade comes through from Nookie, and it finds Lou, and we're going to see the Northern Lights now stuck. This is where we'll see if any of this, you know, that IGL magic that Batulins does have can come through. Is there any right call to be made here? Be cautious, careful, because there is a snake. Oh, it's not in his boot, it was in the grass, and now he gets booted down. Quick little trade out, though. Misa's right there. This is great work from the Saunabois. They are everywhere on the map, but there's Perfectix. We highlighted this. We talked about what this position is. It keeps Northern Lights just about safe, but the Saunabois are relentless. They are just pushing damage at the Northern Lights.
I understand what Socorro was trying to formulate, get behind and get up against the wall, and it gives them another foothold here so they can just watch basically 360 vision of the map. Misa up top and then 2 down low, but with Socorro going down, that might spell disaster. There is potential here to get a revive off, but if Perfectix understands what's going on here, if they're committing to the cause of getting the res, then maybe he can punish them. Maybe he can remove them from this position and open things up for the Northern Lights and really turn things around. James is still been held by Misa. Misa's also falling back now. Remember, this becomes panic stations. You've been out there for some time. And now the circle has been rather unfavorable to you, so you have to move yourself, commit all your utility, and get 5 Vard. Should hear these steps. That's Nookie from a distance. Easy kill, easy frag. Thank you very much. But we spoke, you mentioned, about the IGL, and Froz mentioned it on the desk as well, and so did Martin. Can they keep this together? Can they work as a team? Is the leader there to formulate this final push?
The problem is, on the first peak, no matter where they go, unless there's utility, The Saunabois will have the advantage because they're being proactive. Northern Lights, as soon as they get up, that first shot will go the way of the Saunabois. Now, Bard could have posed a problem. He doesn't. And now they're surrounded. Misa gets full reign to close this circle in even further. And the Saunabois have been surprising us. That Miramar game I thought was a one-off, but maybe not. Unless Lou, Spyro, and Perfectix can do something, this one's all but over. And it looks like it's time for that utility to come into play. The flashes come out. They're left with nothing. The vests are broken. The helmets are gone. There's no nades. There's no smokes. They're down to whatever's left in the mag on their gun. As you can see, it ain't much. The first peek, nothing there. Smoke comes out, looks around. Perfectix feeling bold, feeling brave, but I'll be feeling the pain pretty soon. Already on the cross there. There's Misa spotting out Lou. Good work from Nookie. And it's all down to Spyro, and death is imminent. And it's a great performance from the Saunabois. As said, I thought maybe it was a one-off on Miramar, but if